Justice for Waluigi. You want it, I want it, and this ukulele wants it. So today, we're gonna show you how to play Justice for Waluigi on the soprano ukulele. So let's start with the intro. It's very similar to the chorus, which we'll learn later, but with a few slight differences. The strumming pattern is very similar. And the way you're gonna think about this is pretty much just quarter notes. So if you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do the chord changes. We're gonna use a lot of seventh chords, which if you don't know, just take like your major ukulele bar chord that looks like this. And then you're gonna remove your third finger and then just bar your first finger all the way across. So that's, instead of a B major, it's a B7. So let's just walk through the chords for that intro. It starts with a D major, and then goes to the B7, then to the G major, A major, and then transitioning into the verse, it does this little riff that goes down to the B flat 7, down another half step to the A7. Let's just walk through slowly, just doing quarter notes. So it's gonna be a super simple rhythm, just 1, 2, 3, 4. Every 2 beats, we will switch the chord. So D, D, B7, B7, G, G, A, B flat, A7. And that last B flat hangs on a little bit longer, and you'll understand why in a second. So now that we have those quarter notes down, it's just that kind of feel. Those are all down strums. We're gonna add in upstrokes, but we're gonna mute it. So we're gonna just kind of lay your hands across the fretboard and get that kind of muted sound. So let's go really slowly. That would sound like this. And at the end, that's a little bit different. So let's just walk through that part really quick again. Those last two, when it goes from the B flat 7 to the A7, the B7 holds on there. The B flat 7 holds a little bit. So it goes 1, 2, 3, and mute, and. So let's walk through that whole thing again, really slowly. Just watch me, and I'll try and walk you through it. And then you hold and wait for the verse to come in. So I'm just gonna play that at full speed so you guys can get a feel. And then in between, it's not like a set thing, but I think it's just kind of intuitive if you just wanna let your hand wander. Anytime you're on ukulele and there's like a rest of 4 beats, it's just like natural to kind of keep strumming on muted strings. So now let's get into the verse. All the verses are the same, so once you get 1, you'll get all 3. In terms of chords, it goes D, A, G, A. The most important thing about the verse is that every time you hit the D major is the first chord of the progression, that you're hitting it on the downbeat, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we get into the other chords, some of them will kind of start on the upbeat, or it'll sound kind of offbeat, but that kind of is what makes it a more interesting rhythm. But that D major on the downbeat of 1 will always kind of root you in the progression. Down, mute, up, mute, up, mute, up, mute, down. So if you notice, all of the mutes are downstrokes, and all of the chords are upstrokes, except for that first D, which is kind of why I said that keeps the progression grounded, and that's kind of your anchor point. You just gotta feel it out. It sounds kind of weird slow, so let's just play it at full speed, and then we can wind it back again. So that's the progression. That's what you want it to sound like. And then we move into the pre-chorus. We're gonna go into a really basic strum. We're gonna kind of ditch that syncopated offbeat feel and go into more of a straight. It's down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, between a G major and an A major. So down, down, up. And then the chord changes get a little bit trickier, and we're going to go back to the rhythm from the intro. And in terms of changes, so after the G, A, it's going to go D, B minor, E minor, G. So going back to the beginning of that pre-chorus, it would sound like this. And then we go directly into the chorus. What you've all been waiting for, Justice for Waluigi. And again, the first half of this is going to be identical to the intro. So it's going to go D, B7, G, A, back to the D, B7, and then it's going to do like a chromatic walk down. So the chords, it's going to go B7, B flat 7, A7, which is just a chromatic half step walk down. So it's going to go D, B7, B flat 7, A7. And those last two is going to go down, up, mute, up. So 1 and 2 and B flat, mute, A7. So the chorus in its entirety played slowly would sound like this. So that's the gist of the song. There is a bridge, which we'll go into right now. How many more Fire Emblem characters do we need? A lot of people gave me shit about this in the comments of the original video because they said, oh, what about all the Mario characters, though? And that's a false equivalency, right? Like, come on. Mario is like Nintendo's flagship series. And Fire Emblem was like never even released in the US. So it's a bad comparison. It's a bad take. And I wanted to call you out on it. If you were one of the people who commented, what about Mario? I want to make sure you feel bad right now. So let's go into the bridge. So it's gonna go D to the A to the G, but then you're gonna hold the G instead of going back to the A like you did in the verse. And it's all open strumming, just like the pre-chorus. So it's gonna go down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So that's pretty much the whole song. I'm gonna run through the outro again really quick. So just a really slow version of that initial riff, the initial verse riff. Is our Everest, and it's Waluigi's time, B flat, mute. So that's again like the intro. 1, 2, 3, and mute and. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. But on the 4 it's muted, and then you're actually strumming the A on the upbeat of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. So yeah, that's Justice for Waluigi. And just, you know, keep fighting the good fight for Waluigi. So now that you guys are total pros at playing Justice for Waluigi on the ukulele, let's just play along to the track at full speed, and I'll put all the chords and strumming patterns up so you can follow along. Oh, but first, we need to look the part. We need to look the part. Everyone is here, well they most certainly are not. I can think of one guy in particular Nintendo forgot. How can you call a game ultimate when there's such a glaring flaw in it? Justice for Waluigi. Everyone is here. Well, what do you call the last 18 years? One hell of a tennis career. I won't stop making a racket till Waluigi's in the bracket. I should have seen the writing on the wall. Said no, 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 no. Waluigi. How many more Fire Emblem characters do we need? No one asked for a Mii fighter, but you gave us 3. Nobody cares about young Link or Toon Link. Sooner or later you have to face the music. Justice for Waluigi. You stick my man at the back of the class, turn him into a trophy just to kick his ass. You add insult to injury, add salt to our gash, but you still won't add Waluigi to Smash. The last glimmer of hope I had has been smacked off the map with a home run bat. My most grandiose dream is now pushing up Daisy. So justice for Waluigi. It won't be a speed run. It won't be an easy climb. But the Smash roster is our Everest, and it's Waluigi's time.